go. Lovely. Wonderful. Also, wake up. Time to wake up. Nice. Okay. Fuck. I'm like in a mood today. I don't know how to describe it. I'm just in a mood today. I'm in a fucking mood, you know? Like, I just, I had a little bit of a moment. I had a little bit of a moment today. There are very few, my voice sounds like shit, so low. There are very few times, hold on, I completely fucking forget. I didn't say that this one is the one that I want to go for. Let's go. Very few times. Actually, no, that's not true. There's a lot of times. Research team. Facility is low on power. It's really dark. Okay, yeah, we already know that. We've been here before. This is what we were working on last time. You know? It's still a fucking disaster. And yeah. But anyway, what the fuck? I just, I like to think that people are better than they are, I guess, sometimes. I like to believe that, like, people are good people. That's the thing. I like to believe that people are, generally speaking, good people. And, there are times when, like, people that I've really liked and people that I've really, thought had, a decent amount of sense proved to be, I don't know, so caught up in their own head-ass bullshit that it just, like, it's really fucking disappointing. I guess, yeah. I wouldn't say that I have particularly high expectations for people. I just expect people to, be able to see through the bullshit. And when people can't see through the bullshit, it kind of just upsets me. And these are, like, really vague words. These are, like, totally vague words that can be construed in, like, almost any way to mean almost anything. And I am being deliberately vague because I do not want to... It is not... Like, when I say I'm coming here to, like, build a Twitch community for part of my MA, it is not my intention to get involved in all of the absolute bullshit that goes on this platform. It is not my intention to pay tribute to that shit. Yeah. This is entirely its own thing, right? And the reason why I feel like it kind of has to be is because, like, I don't know. But I just feel it like it has to be. I feel like it has to be because I feel like... I mean, and like, it's almost impossible to talk about this without, like, talking about the specifics. But I feel like, okay, so let's go back to, like, the premise of the channel. The premise of the channel is that, or not the premise of the channel. The premise of the channel is to, like, build online communities. But, like, the secret hidden premise of the MA project is to, like, build online leftist communities. And when I talk about intentional communities, I mean, being intentionally leftist, right? That's my perspective. That is where I'm coming from. Now, let's get real. The internet left is very, very young. Okay, the internet left is like 6 years old, maybe. I mean, at least most of the broadly recognizable pieces of it that you see today. I mean, the internet as a platform is rather, you know, it's you know, it's rather young as well, of course. But like, internet leftism is an infant, not an infantile movement, but is an infant of a movement. Okay, like 10 years ago, all of the people who are internet leftists now were being bullied off of every single goddamn platform, and nobody was raising a finger to do fuck all about it. Okay. And I think we need to come in with that recognition. This is a baby movement. This is not the end-all, be-all of activism, but this is also a baby movement. Okay? And I think people don't realize that, or maybe they do, and they think, you know, we need to like get in here early and establish, you know, some territory or some shit. I don't know. I frankly don't know what people think. Can I fling this into there? I just want to drop it. I don't want to have these things in my thing anymore, and it just really, why do I have 3 of them? Why? So anyway, yeah, I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to make a point, and I'm very bad at it, which is why I wasn't like when I'm like, you know, doing the channel, I'm like, I don't want to do like I have a different style, okay? I have different vibes, and so I'm not precisely the most well-suited person to like come in and do like try to do like epic takedowns or some shit, or like prolonged criticism. Like I could write a fucking paper if I wanted to. I don't want to. But anyway, where are we trying to go with this? Where are we trying to go with this? Internet leftism as a movement is in its infancy, and a lot of what we see right now, the strife that is occurring, is the growing pains. But at the same time, a lot of the people involved in the strife do not recognize that it is the growing pains. And I need more people to recognize that. I need more people to recognize that. I need more people to appreciate what we have here. And I need more people to get their heads out of their own fucking asses to the point where that they can actually be like, you know, human beings to one another. And you know what's not a very, like, human being kind of fucking thing to do is to say, not even say, but to, like, insinuate that victims of sexual assault, maybe not sexual assault specifically, but victims of abuse. Victims of abuse. I said sexual assault because I'm, in fact, a victim of sexual assault. But anyway, no, that victims of abuse need to stay with their abusers, because if you allow them to become homeless, that's worse than, like, the abuse that they did to you. I'm sorry, what? What? Like, what the fuck? And like, okay, let's have a little bit of charitability. People get into, you know, we are, all human beings are emotional, right? We live by our emotions. You know, what is logic but a series of emotions that are, you know, fucking emotional. We're fucking emotional. And sometimes, in a moment of weakness, we write a little paper, you know, a little script for a video essay, and we imply things that we don't necessarily mean. Okay, charitability time over. What the fuck? And we can certainly say that this is one more act of uncharitability in a larger, you know, it's not microcosm, is it? I don't think that's the word right there. You know, a larger scale, on a larger scale of uncharitability. Sure, we can say that. But the thing is, if you want to call somebody a motherfucker, just call them a motherfucker. Don't pretend you have, like, righteous reasons for calling someone a motherfucker. If your reason is that, like, they, like, kicked their abuser out of their home. And I'm not saying that this is precisely what happened. I'm saying that this is what the allegations were, right? Yeah, they were being abused. And I don't care, like, if it's like physical abuse, I don't care if it's financial abuse, I don't care what kind of abuse it is. If someone is abusing you, you get them away from you. And that is always an okay and acceptable thing to do. And I do not understand who in their right, what self-respecting leftist in their right goddamn mind would be like, oh, yeah, no, actually, you kicked this person out, like, once again, ostensibly, you kicked this person out of your house, and, like, because you did that, you're a bad leftist. I don't care if they were abusing you, you should have had, like, makeup sex with them. Because these were things that were said. And sure, we can say, oh, that was, you know, irony, that was a joke. That's not a funny joke. Like, you can't call someone, you know, what amounts to, like, a fascist for making bad jokes, and then yourself go and make equally as shit-ass jokes. And I especially don't care if it's because they're like, oh, they're a man and men have... I don't care. I don't care. That's such bullshit. And, like, the thing is that people are, once again, the head assery. People have their heads so far up their fucking asses, so far into their egos, because they perceive themselves as, you know, these wonderful intellectual public figures, that they aren't even fucking realizing that there are real goddamn people out there who are watching your shit. Yeah, okay, you want to get the likes, and you want to get the subscribes, and you want to get the views. I thought that, like, you know, being a leftist and, like, all of that shit is, like, about more than just your shitty internet career. Like, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. And, like, once again, a lot of these videos are signs of just a healthy, normal, early ecosystem. You know, we're growing boundaries, we're establishing discourse. A lot of these are just it's normal shit, and it's gonna be there. But there are times when people say things that are just so incredibly fucked up that it's like you just like, what? And I'm not gonna watch the video. I do not want to watch this video. First of all, I watched somebody else watch this video, and they watched the whole entire video. They did not, like, skip through it. So, like, even if I wasn't, like, listening to their commentary, I would still have my own thoughts on this, right? And I, you know, once again, I'm not mentioning names. I'm not mentioning, you know, I'm not even gonna mention pronouns. No, you don't get shit from me. Because we are not here to talk about, like, oh, this little audience and their, you know, opinions, or that little audience and their opinions, and all of the warring factions. No. We are here to talk about the fucking principle of the thing. And the fucking principle of the matter is that there are plenty of things to critique about a lot of fucking people online, because online, the internet is a cesspool, and humans, you know, do fucked up shit all the time, okay? But the one thing that you need to remember about this when you're making your critique is that they're really fucked up critiques to make. And why the fuck would you say something like that? So yeah, I was just, you know, I was just like, really, oh my god, it like, and the thing is, you know, again, I'm, you know, talking about my own experiences, you know, and this is not something that I like to bring up. You know, it's not something I like to talk about. It's not even something I like to fucking think about. But, you know, I was in an emotionally and, you know, financially abusive relationship with my ex-partner, who, you know, basically used me for money because he refused to get a job. And it came to the point where, and I wrote a tweet about this. If you're coming here from the tweet, you fucking know. You fucking know. And if you don't know, then you should go back and read the fucking tweet. But anyway, he refused to get a job. Anywhere. He refused to even try to get a job, and he sat around on Facebook all day, and then one night, I, you know, refused to pay, you know, use my student loans that I was taking out, you know, the debt, the enormous debt that I was taking out, to keep him housed. I refused to take out any more of that debt. And yeah. And so basically what ended up happening is he left the bedroom and I locked the door and I had to call my family to come get me in the middle of the night, and I had to live with my grandparents for a few months until I came to Humboldt, and that's the situation that I was in then in the middle of 2019, I guess. Again, it's not something I like to talk about. It's not something I like to think about. You know, and to just have this, and I don't know where he is right now. I refuse to contact him, and I refuse to allow him to contact me. He might very well be homeless. He refused to pay rent, you know, because he lost his job. I was the one paying rent. He refused to get a job. And you know, it's just a fucked up situation all around, right? The idea that I should have to, like, to be a good person, to be a good principled leftist, that I should have to stay with this person who was, you know, abusive to me, in multiple ways, is just, it is sickening. And I cannot take a person seriously who engages in this kind of rhetoric, thinking that it is appropriate, first of all, and you know, leftist, second of all. That is sickening. Like, I don't care how many times you talk about, like, you know, male privilege or some shit like that. If your video is, you know, disparaging of people who are in abusive fucking situations and just want to get out of them, like, you know, you're not a good person. You're not doing good work. And, like, maybe this person has takes that are not shit, right? I'll give that to them. I don't care. I do not care anymore. You made, yeah, and, like, you know, we've been, like, reading all of those, all of the papers on the channel, you know, about, like, rhetorical choices, rhetorical situations, right? I mean, it's not about those, but, like, you know, it's you know, it's all of the theory. And it's like, you know, you make the rhetorical choices you do, right? Make the arguments you do for, you know, the time and place that you are in, like the time and place that you're coming from. I don't know how salient is that a word? I don't know what this argument is, but, you know, it's like you make the choices that you do for the time that you're in. And are we really in the kind of time where we think it's appropriate to be like, yeah, you need to stay with people who abuse you if it means they're gonna, I think that another thing, I don't think this person is from the US, so maybe maybe the, you know, place where they're from is experiencing different things, but in the US, people stay together because they literally cannot afford to you know, not live with their partner. Like, people get into relationships because we cannot afford to live alone. And that's, yeah, sure, that's not a great reason to get into relationships, but it's what you have to do to survive sometimes. And if you get to the point where you can leave an abusive relationship and you can survive outside of an abusive relationship, yeah, you need to leave. And discouraging victims from doing so is just really fucked up. And I get that the video that, like, the person made about the other person that they're critiquing is like they're like, oh yeah, this is a really bad person. They don't have all things. But again, rhetorical choices for rhetorical situations. When we are in a situation where people are forced to live and be in relationships with people who are abusing them just because they don't have anywhere to fucking go, right? Then, like, telling people who are leaving abusive relationships that it's fucked up for them to do that. Like, it's... So anyway, yeah. And, like, once again, maybe I didn't say that. I don't know if I said that. I do not want to get involved with any of these people. This is not what my project is supposed to be about. It is not going to be about getting involved with these people. It's not really about getting involved with any people. You know? And yeah. I'm not getting involved with any of these people. And that's not to say that I'm creating my own little leftist movement online. No, that would be silly. I can't do that. No. I am, you know, I'm studying the infrastructure that's there, and I am making recommendations based on what I think is possible. And that's what I'm doing. That is the point of this project. I want to know what is possible. And I don't think that whatever this bullshit is, you know, it's not what it's not. It ain't it. So, yeah, I just, you know, it's just something that I had to talk about because I'm just really disgusted. I'm, you know, let's be real. I'm having, like, fucking anxiety about this shit. Because it just brought back so much fucking nauseous shit. So much fucking, you know, like, nobody wants to, like, get out of a relationship and leave the person who you were in a relationship with homeless. It's something that you do out of, like, self-preservation. And yeah, even as a leftist, it is okay to be concerned about self-preservation. Self-preservation is vitally important to the kind of work that we are doing. So anyway. Yeah, I don't know, it's just what I've been thinking about. And, you know, upsetting me. I was having, you know, an okay day. I wasn't even thinking about it. And in fact, like, the video, I saw the video, like, you know, a while ago, I think. I don't remember. Time is weird here. But, you know, I saw the video, like, a while ago, and I just, you know, it's just something that, like, it really upset me, and I was willing to forget about it, because, like, I don't care. I don't have the energy to care. But then I saw someone who I, like, really thought of as, like, a chill person, like, a respectful, principled person, you know, like a tweet by the person who made the video, who was, like, complaining about how everybody's mad at them for making the video. And, like, I can see why they're mad at you. Maybe you should think about your life decisions. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe the way that you know, ideologically handle, you know, survivors of sexual assault is not up to snuff, and maybe you should think about that. I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Like, like you like the thing is, and then this happens, we're talking specifically about, like, the debate bro versus video essayist thing, which, like, I believe that debate bros and video essayists, they're all part of a continuum, and that ultimately, you know, it's a good thing that they both exist. There are particular debate bros that I do not subscribe to, and I'm, you know, I do see in general the use of, you know, principled debate, you know, in the broader leftist movement. Again, not very broad because it is in fact a whining, screaming, crying little infant of a movement. But like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, like, and that's, and like, okay, you know, somebody's gonna like watch that, and maybe nobody's gonna watch that. I don't think I'm at the point where like I have people like accidentally stumbling on my shit. Well, I do, but it's all people who like liked, or not even liked, people who watched like that thing about all of my dogs in Minecraft. You know, they show up, they watch the VOD about the dogs, and then they leave after 10 minutes. I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm not really expecting much. I'm not expecting the world out of this project. You know, because again, it's not about like, you know, pioneering the left movement. It's just about, you know, creating a fucking community. Like, how the fuck do you create community? You know? Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. It's all about like the debate bros versus the video essayists, and I think that if y'all spent less fucking time fighting with one another, like dipshits, and more time, you know, collaborating with one another and like, you know, that kind of shit. Or at least just ignoring the people you don't like, you know. Maybe you could get a lot more done. But then again, you know, once again, baby movement in its infancy. What are the goals? What are the rhetorical goals of the online left? I mean, there aren't really any. Because it is just a bunch. I'm gonna be real, man. It's just a bunch of like fuckwit nerds who are arguing with one another about whether or not like the other one is more leftist. And like, yeah, it's, you know, it's a baby movement. It's in its infancy, and this is kind of where it needs to be. It don't need to stay there. It don't need to stay there. So it's like when we come to like the conversation, what is the conversation? What are the conversations that are being promoted? What, you know, yeah, that's it. What are the kinds of conversations that are being promoted, and by who? You know, I think that's the kind of thing we need to think about when we're making judgments over, you know, who is actually a leftist who is doing good shit and who is just wasting our fucking time. I'm kind of like yelling. I'm kind of like upset. And so I kind of lose like control over the volume of my voice. And like, I don't know, man. I just, you know, once again, this is something that like really fucking upset me. And it's like, I don't. It's like, you know, I hate all of you. I hate all of you. But at the same time, we gotta make the best out of a bad situation. That's what we're gonna be doing. That's what we're gonna be doing. Because, you know, I have my own ends. I have my own ends. I don't have much of a means, but I got an ends, and let's see what we could, I don't know. So anyway, it's just a lot. It's a lot. No, I ain't making no fucking video essay about it. And I ain't gonna calm down and like clear my head and get my thoughts together and make some good points. No. This ain't what this is about. That ain't what this is about. This is about me being angry and just being angry. I'm gonna be angry right now. Fuck off if you don't want me to be angry, because I'm just gonna be angry right now. I'm gonna be fucking pissed. I think I have every right to be fucking pissed right now. Why are there things? Why is it so dark? Why are there things that I keep running into? What the fuck? I hate you. Like, sometimes, you know, you just want to, like, threaten to drop a piano on a motherfucker. I don't think you can do that on Twitter. Like, on Tumblr, you could threaten to drop pianos on motherfuckers all day long. Nobody would give a shit. But I'm pretty sure on Twitter, you know, you threaten to drop a piano on a motherfucker, everybody goes up in arms and loses their goddamn minds. I just want to threaten to drop a piano on a motherfucker. I'm not actually gonna do it. I'm just gonna insinuate that, like, you know, if you piss me off, maybe I drop a piano on you. Maybe you kind of deserve it. Why does he walk slower when I press the shift key? If anything, I feel like you should be walking faster when I press the shift key. Anyways. I miss Tumblr. Like, I feel like... This is for real, man. I feel like if Tumblr had not gotten rid of the porn, none of this would have happened. Like, it's like that one meme where it's like, you know, like the utopia, right? And then, like, there's like, right now, and it, you know, it looks like right now and it's like shit, and then it's utopia, and it's like, you know, if Tumblr had never gotten rid of the porn, like, yeah. Why do you keep giving me limbs? Like, every other thing is a limb. What is this shit? Lots of people walking past my house today. I don't know, they probably think I'm having some kind of, like, mental breakdown because I'm yelling at my computer. And, like, I feel like I do that almost every day of the week now. I don't know if they know that I stream. Anyway. Look at this shit. It looks exactly like my room. Like, I kind of feel at home here. Oh my god. I really feel at home here, actually. This is kind of wonderful. Look at this shit. I mean, I generally prefer a nice, like, disembodied photo to a boat, like... But I mean, you know, whatever floats your boat, man. I feel like somebody's not going to understand that was a joke, and I just want to establish that I do not have disembodied torsos in my bedroom. That was a joke. We're not in my bedroom right now, we're in my living room. But, my bedroom is the place where I sleep, and I don't think people need to, like, look at that, because that would just feel weird. Anyway. And it's like, okay, I feel like there's maybe, like, I don't even spend that much fucking time online. Okay, like, maybe yesterday, but the tweet was made this morning, so, you know. Why does it look like that? I hate that. I don't know. I feel like you should say, like, don't ask me any questions if you want, like, good answers today, because I'm not fucking having it. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Goddamn fucking footprint. What is that red smudge on the ground? Although I have been, like, shitposting a lot lately. I feel like, no, Tumblr was. But I feel like Twitter is not, like, a particularly hospitable place for, like, poetry and shit, and it's kind of throwing me for a loop because there's some nights when I'm just like fucking feeling it and I just like want to write a poem, and I'm like, I don't know if this is like a great place to put this. I feel like there's too many motherfuckers on this site. Not just that there's like too many motherfuckers. There's, you know, there's like a similar amount of motherfuckers as there are on any. Oh, this is like the, oh, it's the line for the crates. But like, it's like a different kind of motherfucker, like a rancid motherfucker. There's too many rancid motherfuckers on. That's exactly what I meant to say. That there are too many rancid motherfuckers. Like, there's one, you know, there's one thing like being a motherfucker. Like, you know, you could be a motherfucker and like still be cool, but you can't. You like, if you're a rancid motherfucker, there's just no saving you. You are fucking broken, and we just need to like send you to a home where you will be well cared for and. Like, hoping that there is no repeat of the 2020 or the 2020 that 2020? It was the summer of 2020. Summer of 2020 kinning incident. What else to talk about? But yeah, this weird person decided that they were the one who wrote my tweet because they kinned me, and, or not my tweet, my post, and that they would now take charge of responding to people on it because I was, you know, aggressively defending my boundaries and telling people not to post weird shit on my post, which is something that you can do on Tumblr as opposed to Twitter, because, you know, Tumblr is more of like a blogging site. And Twitter is just an indefensible corner of hell. Oh, look at that. I've learned many other things from Twitter too, though. Very many interesting things. You know, and, you know, as Twitter as a subject of study is absolutely fascinating. Twitter as a place of community is absolute shit. Yeah, that's my take. That's the take. And I'm happy with that. And yeah. Why? Why though? Shit. I don't have anywhere to put this. I don't have anywhere. What? Can I just open it without putting it down? I can't. I'm gonna put this. No. Put you in the bucket. And I'm just gonna throw out the whole entire bucket. We're literally throwing out the baby with the bathwater. Except that's not a baby, that's a chunk of something that, like, at one time, many years ago, was a baby. I mean, it's like a part of a person, like, you know, at one point, that person was a baby. So, like, you know, we're technically throwing out what was one time a person with the water that we are using to clean up that person. So we are throwing out the, you know, the baby with the bath water. It makes sense if you think about it the way I do. And if you don't think about it the way I do, then you're, like, just wrong. Which, from what I understand, is the correct viewpoint of those who are terminally online. Oh look, it was a bucket. How nice. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I appreciate when things work the way they are meant to. But also, like, in a situation where, like, absolute god-awful, I hate people who are, like, fans of things. And I like things. I like things. I appreciate things. I do enjoy things. But at the same time, I would not consider myself a fan, because a fan, to be a fan of a thing, is a very particular designation that just denotes all sorts of, like, blatant headassery that I just do not want to ever associate myself with. Like, no, I'm not a fan of things. I like things, but I'm not a fan of things. I appreciate things. I enjoy things. But, like, if you ever catch me calling myself a fan of something, just, like, that is not me. That is someone pretending to be me who stole my face. And I've probably been body snatched. Something like that, you know? I don't know. I'm not a fan of things. And I think that fan behavior, and this part of this comes from my history on Tumblr and watching the absolutely batshit shit that, you know, fans would get involved in. You know, fan behavior is highly suspect, and people who proclaim to be fans of things just should not be trusted. But, yeah. I think Tumblr was kind of hell for a lot of people, and we all still have the residual trauma. And I think that's evident, actually, my whole take on, like, cancel culture, which is something that I've been, I don't know, I guess we could call it, like, theorizing, but I wouldn't really call it theorizing, it's just, like, thinking, pondering. But, like, my big cancel culture theory, and this goes back to, like, the left on the internet is only, like, 6 fucking years old, right? Like, before 6 years ago, what did you have? You had, like, fucking, I don't know, TYT in the Majority Report. I was fucking there. I know, okay? I know. You had, like, you know, maybe a few video essayists, but, like, come on, be real. This, like, these communities, oh, fuck, I just knocked over the bucket of water. We're, like, you know, the head of you know, the prick point of the fucking needle compared to, like, the fucking alt-right losers out there. Okay? Like, they didn't call it the, like, what is it, the gateway, YouTube, the gateway to the alt-right or some crazy shit like that, because, like, there were lots of leftists on the platform. No, they called it that because there were so many fucking alt-right dipshits on the platform that if you just watched a single YouTube video on YouTube, eventually it would funnel you down into some crazy right-wing nonsense. Okay? The whole, like, practically the whole entire internet was taken over by these fucking weirdos. And so, like, leftism, you know, and then I think the thing that I think the other thing that, like, we don't take, there are actual, like, I don't know how to tell you that, like, being like a marginalized person and, you know, like, being in an environment where, like every 5th person you talk to might be a Nazi. I don't know how to tell you that it's, like, fucking, like, traumatizing experience, but, like, it is. And I think a lot of people have, like, unresolved trauma that, like, you know, tracks back to, you know, just about 6 years ago, where, like, shit, I was talking to a friend the other day, and, like, they were like, you know, like, there's, like, sites like fucking, the 4chan, I don't know what the fuck 4chan is, but, I mean, I guess I do in a roundabout generalized way, but I do not know what 4chan is. But anyway, you know, how they, like, engaged in, like, deliberate organized tactics to make leftists, like, hate and fear one another, right? And I don't know how the fuck you would think that, like, all of that shit would have been resolved once we had a few, like, noisy people making, you know, video essays and long-form content. Like, that's not resolved. That's still there. The residual trauma is still there, and it is still being acted out. Oftentimes in a fucking, like, cannibalistic way. Where the people from, like, different online leftist communities, like every other leftist online community thinks that, like, every other leftist online community is some kind of, like, fucking CIA asset. Like, what is wrong with you? Be normal. But also, like, you know, if you came from a time on the internet where, like, you know, every fifth person you interacted with on the internet was, like, a scum of the earth pretending to be a leftist just to, like, create confusion. Like, yeah, no, I can see why. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, like, it's something that, and this is, like, you know, part of the broader project, I guess, and I haven't really wanted to, like, get into the specifics of the project. You know, like, really, like, where I want to go with it, what I want to do with it. I think I've been, like, very general. And I think that the project is at a point where that's kind of, like, generality is probably healthier than, like, hyper specificity. You know, I've only been working on, you know, compiling shit together for, like, half of a year. And then, of course, this semester is when I really, like, I do all the, like, proposal shit, and I get, like, committee and everything. And so I'm probably not gonna, like, know with any amount of hyperspecificity exactly what's gonna happen until, like, next semester. And that being said, I have very clear goals and very clear focus, and I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from the people who might be involved, you know, on my, it's a master's project. You need, like, a committee and lots of nerd shit, and it's like, oh god. But like I said, I've done, like, weird projects in the past, and I think a lot of them, you know, support my ideas to the point where, like, you know, what I want to do is not where I want to go is, like, not, like, I don't think it's gonna face a lot of problems, you know? I think that and you know, sometimes I wonder, because I do have this habit of doing that, where, like, I get so, like, vague about what I'm talking about that it becomes almost incomprehensible. I don't know. But I okay. So, like, let's do this. Let's do this right fucking now. Okay. Why did I pick Twitch over, like, any other site, right? So I was on Tumblr. I, you know, like, for a very long time. This is, like, before the phone ban. So when Tumblr was still good. And I've been a blogger, like, most of my life. I write, like, crazy shit. Crazy shit. It's nothing that would probably make any sense in today's context. But yeah, and so, like, Tumblr was always a really good place where I could just, you know, fuck around in relative, you know, anonymity, but also, like, in a way where I could, like, attract the people who, you know, who, like, really, felt connected to things I was writing. And it's, you know, there's this content, or there's this creator on YouTube who made a video recently. It's called, or her channel, I believe, I don't know her pronouns, but like Strange Eons, made a video about the, this is silly, the CEO, how people used to like fangirl over the CEO of Tumblr. And I think the way they describe Tumblr and like the intentional design, there's that intentional word again, of Tumblr, really made it clear for me, like, why I like Twitch over, you know, anywhere else. Because Twitch feels like, this is gonna be a weird thing, Twitch feels like the Tumblr of like live streaming, the Tumblr of video content. And I know that YouTube has had like vloggers, right? And I'm not talking about like vloggers, because you can vlog about anything anywhere. But there's like a very specific vibe to the types of fuck, I forgot about my buckets. To the type of like blogs that a person who is attracted to Tumblr would make. And they're like, there's a very specific kind of engagement, type of community that encourages. And so, you know, Twitch really feels like it gives me, or gives people, you know, I could say me. So I've you know, I watch stuff on Twitch too. I'm not just like a content creator, I'm also a viewer. I'm not just a streamer, I'm a viewer. But you know, I think it gives people the same level of social connection that comes from, you know, Tumblr. Dead guy. Really fun how I'm always like, let's talk about deep theory while I dump dead guys into an incinerator. Totally normal. Very normal. Very sexy, very fun, and very cool. It's not gonna fit in there. There it is. Now it fits. Wait, did I see some blinds on the ground? I did not. There was just, you know, crap there. There's no lines on the ground. There's just crap. Oh my god. I'm just like flashing back to all the times where there was like some kind of special event at my old job, and how like we always got stuck cleaning up all of the shit after like all, like, one time, oh my god, the site coordinator brought out fucking glitter. And the thing is, like, glitter seems like fun if you're an adult and you have like any control over your hand faculties. These are like 6 and 7 and 8-year-olds, okay? A 6 and 7 and 8-year-old lifts their arm into the air and cannot help but swing it so wildly around that they smack 3 kids in the face on accident. That's just part of being a child, is you cannot control your body, like, you know, your movement, okay? Like, you're giving these kids glitter? Well, yeah, they gave him glitter and they gave him glue, and next thing I know, and then another thing is, like, you know, we did not specifically assign someone to watch the glitter and glue table. Because, like, you can have a controlled environment where kids put glitter and glue on things and, like, it doesn't end up in a disaster. You just need someone to be breathing down their necks. So if you do not assign someone to, you know, breathe down the necks of the glitter and glue table, you end up with, like, 20 pounds of glitter on the floor, and some sad, sorry motherfucker has to clean it up before anybody can go home that night. Unless everybody else sneaks off and you're the last sad, sorry motherfucker left, and the site coordinator, who is, yeah, she had a lot of problems. We had a lot of problems that year. yeah, she, you know, guilt trips you into like staying behind and helping her clean it up because like maybe you'll get more money, but you won't because they won't let you put it on the card because technically you're only supposed to be here from this hour to that hour, and any time that you do beyond that is like charity, basically. In fact, you know, I should be able to like put that on like a resume that I did like, you know, like community service, staying late at my job because I did not get paid for that. Like that should, like, if you have to do work for free, it should count as like, I don't know, community service or something. You know, I mean, you should get some credit for it somehow. You know, you should be accredited for your labor. I don't know about accredited, but you should be credited, yeah, for your labor. Anyway, so yeah, like, you know, and even after that, we still couldn't, like, we spent like 3 hours trying to get that shit out, and even after that, we still could not get it all out. So, like, situation completely fucked. But yeah, this is what this reminds me of. Like, you know, I have a bunch of, like, a giant area that I have to clean up. I have a bunch of shit-ass tools that don't work half the time. And, you know, somebody else came in here and made a big old fucking mess, and now I just have to clean it up. And it's like, dude, why? Why me? Why me? Why me? I guess for, like, I don't know, consistency's take, since I have, like, not mentioned any names, I would respectfully request that anyone who, you know, managed to get a hold of this footage refrain from involving me in their bullshit. Thank you. Much obliged. I mean, that's the whole point of, like, not mentioning the names, is, like, I don't want to get involved in the bullshit. Because that's what it is. If you boil it down to its core base components, it's bullshit. You want a villain of the week, so you make one up, and now you got a villain of the week. Somebody to rail against, to rally the troops. And it's like, you know, I get, like, rhetorically speaking, I get what you think you're doing, but it is not having the effect you want it to. You know? I don't know, man. Other possible criticisms I could see is, read theory, and then theory will, you know, inform you, and I hate to break it to you, buddy, but we read theory. We read theory every Wednesday. And if you want to read theory with us, you can join. You can join the stream. You are welcome to join. It's called Reading Rainbow but Gayer, and I read a few, you know, the assigned readings of the class. And, you know, and then maybe, you know, maybe if the assigned readings get kind of, you know, kind of boring, maybe we switch it up. Maybe we read something else. I don't know. I'm not opposed to branching out into, or, you know, because, like, okay, like literary theory, not literary theory, but like theory about literacy is kind of boring, maybe sometimes. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. I mean, I think it's particularly useful, especially. And the thing is, you would think that, like, you know, I haven't gotten anything from it because it's not, like, specific, you know, but at the same time, I think that I think that I'm getting a lot out of the text that we're reading for the class, a lot that's useful for this project, because I do think about, content creation in the context of spaces for learning, right? That is my whole philosophy, is that, you know, we are learning. What we're doing online as leftists is we're creating spaces where people can learn, but, like, in fun ways, not in, like, totally miserable ways, like, you know, reading all of, I don't know, Das Kapital. Like, I mean, sure, you could go and read Das Kapital from, like, cover to cover, and, like, that's good for you, but do you want to, really? That just doesn't sound like fun. Maybe we should find another way to, like, give you the same amount of information that you could get from reading that, but, like, you know, in a way that people actually are interested in, you know? I don't know. Maybe, you know, popular movements are defined by popular mediums. Ooh. Ooh. You know? And the rhetorical choices rhetorical choices we make are mediated by those mediums. You know? Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of a dumbass. I don't know. Why was there a fucking thing stuck to the toilet seat? I don't even know if that is a toilet. Does that look like a toilet seat? That looks like a toilet seat. And there's a thing that looks like a toilet too. It's not there, but it looks like a toilet. Anyway, point is, dumbass rat brain likes fun thing. Dumbass rat brain do fun thing and enjoy stuff. Dumbass rat brain learn while doing fun thing. Okay, that's the whole entire learning philosophy, the whole entire teaching philosophy. We don't like doing things that aren't fun. Let's do something fun and learn while we're doing it. You know? Kind of like how Monopoly was like an anti-capitalist project that was supposed to be like, you know, turning capitalism into the most boring game ever. And, you know, everybody is like, oh yeah, Monopoly is the most boring, awful game ever. They just don't recognize that it's about capitalism because, you know, we're all part of a neoliberal machine. Like, let's be real. We're all part of a neoliberal machine, and that's okay. We're all entitled to be a little bit stupid sometimes. I feel somebody, like, walking around outside my apartment, and I don't know if they're, like, I don't know what's going on. But it sounds like somebody is walking, like, in front of my window. Maybe they're down in the parking lot, and I'm just, like, hearing the sound amplified by the car. But anyway. Feels weird, man. Feels really weird. Anyway. Oh, fuck you. That is upsetting. We were, like, so close. We were, like, halfway. I knew that, you know, when I started just throwing shit over the balcony, I knew that this part would be, like, painful. I did not know how painful it would be. I mean, we're almost like we're like, okay, look. There was a lot more shit down there when I started clearing it out, okay? So, I'm gonna say that we are more than halfway through this room. Let's just get a whole bunch of fucking bins. Just gonna keep spitting out bins until we get a leg. Oh, we did get a leg. It doesn't look like a leg. It looks like a... What do we think? What does that look like? A liver? I think livers are, like, red. What does that look like? Kind of fatty. Doesn't it look kind of fatty? I don't know what that is. I mean, maybe I think that has more of, like, the design being, like, generic, you know, generic viscera, rather than, like, you know, specific body part. I don't know, it kind of looks like a heart. Gross. There's a lot of blood in this area. Oh yeah, that's a dead guy. Okay, so there was a dead guy, and... Dick Haggard. That's a hell of a name. You got a hell of a name, my guy. Can we work? Can we function? Oh, there it goes. Anyway. Yeah. I know, sometimes I'm just an angry little person. And, you know, I just have to yell about things for a while. posterity's sake, if somebody does, you know, once again, does, like, you know, manage to, like, find this and, like, decides to make a little content of it, even though I, you know, denied my permission, you know, can you, like, title it, like, Angry Little Gremlin Has Shit Internet Takes? Thank you. That would be, like, wonderful. I would appreciate that. I would have a laugh over that. And I really doubt that that would happen. I don't know, like, who the fuck, like, I don't even have, like, followers on, I don't have, and I think this is a very good place for my channel to be, ironically, but I do not have followers who are, like, interconnected in the way that I would have to be concerned about something like that, I don't think. Which is good. Don't follow me on Twitter. And see, this is where the dropping the piano thing would come in handy. Because, like, you know, on Tumblr, you just, like, threaten to drop pianos on people when you get too many followers. And they're like, oh god, this person's, like, a fucking crazy weirdo. We will unfollow them now. And, you know, you drop, like, 10 followers in a minute. I don't, like, once again, I think that if I was, like, you know, I'll drop a piano on the motherfucker on Twitter, that, like, more people would probably follow me to, like, see the inevitable fallout when, like, I don't know, like, crazy shit happens. You know, it's like, you cannot threaten to drop a piano on people on Twitter. I don't believe you can. I do not believe that it would end well. How did it get that dirty that quick? It's like 2 fucking mop swipes, my guy. Like, buddy, what is wrong with you? Oh, for fuck's sake. How long have I been working on this? An hour? Oh my god. I've been working on this shit for an hour and 10 minutes. Well, an hour and 10-ish minutes, because I guess I started like 2 minutes in. There we go. I'm definitely gonna knock that over. There's no way to hell that's still standing after, like, you know. Disgusting. Also, can we, like, talk about how, like, so many fucking Twitter posts that are, like, massively reblogged by people, or retweeted, I guess, by people, just do not fucking pass the smell test. Like, I hate to be the person to be like, you know, we need better media literacy online, but, like, god damn, people, do your due fucking diligence. Don't, like, retweet something just because, like, you know, I don't know, because it feels good to retweet it. Like, I think that's the whole fucking problem here. This is a matter of due diligence. Like, you need to do your due diligence and find out what the people are, you know, doing the arguing about before you retweet your side on either fucking take. Like, it would do your fucking due diligence. Like, just do it. Do it. Because I'm pretty sure that if you, like, did it, then you would recognize that, like, somebody did a fucked up thing. And it's not the person who's like, you know, I can't believe that you guys are mad at me for doing a fucked up thing. I'm gonna block all of you. That's not the person who is, like, doing the right thing here. And, like, okay, you can block people, right? But you don't typically say, like, oh, I'm gonna block everybody. Unless, like, you kind of recognize you did a fucked up thing. You just kind of block them. Like, you don't actually have to tell people that you're... It's like the people who are like, I'm unfollowing you. Like, you don't actually have to tell somebody that you're unfollowing you. You can just, like, unfollow them. Like, and I think that instantly adds, like, a whole level of, like, suspect nature to to shit. Because, like, this is not... This is a performance to you. This is... And, you know, I mean, sometimes life is a performance. And we are, you know, performers. And, you know, every player is waiting for their moment on the stage. Yeah, okay. Especially if you're a content creator, then, like, you're trying to make your money. That's so cool. You know? But, like, don't pretend that you're fucking left if you're just here for the money. Like, you know, my guy, I don't know. I don't know, I guess that's a you know, I don't know. Holy fuck, that looked like a person over there. It scared the shit out of me. I think that's an unfair... I mean, plenty of people, like, think that, you know, different content creators I watch are just in it for the money. I think that's a very common assessment. And, like, bitches do gotta eat. So it is the capitalism. I just wish that, like, we could afford to be principled. You know? Yeah, bitches gotta eat. Maybe once you're eating, you can afford to be more principled. I don't know. It's like... God, I thought that was a person again. Oh my god, I'm very uncomfortable with that. I need to get some light up here, because I just cannot... I cannot, like, emotionally, psychologically, you know, handle that right now. I cannot handle that right now. That is gonna freak me the fuck out. That's not any better! Oh boy! I don't know, also I feel like, you know, as leftists, it's kind of like silly bitch shit if we're, like, equating libs with leftists. That's just silly bitch shit. Like, don't... If you know somebody is a lib, then why are you critiquing them for not being... You know, I mean, you know, there's certain contexts maybe appropriate. But at the same time, like... If somebody calls themselves a lib, right? Why are you critiquing them for not being, like, the leftist that they say they are? They don't say that they're a leftist. They're a fucking lib. And that's its own animal, for sure. But, like... I don't know. And I'm not going to be watching the video on stream. I don't want to do that. I don't care. So, like, you know, all of my comments that I'm making right now are just, like, random shit that I have recalled that I choose to take issue with. Or, you know, generalized shit that I choose to take issue with in the moment, because, you know, I'm just in the moment where I feel like taking issue with shit. And, you know, that's a valid expression of, you know, a valid, you know, emotional expression that I'm entitled to make, because I fucking want to. Also probably rambling a little incoherently. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with rambling incoherently, actually. Kind of fun. I have thoughts in my brain, and I don't want to process them any other way. This is how I want to process the thoughts in my brain. Exactly the way I'm doing it right now. Okay. Okay, so we are going to do a new game today, and that should be fun. And I, hopefully, you know, by the time I get to the new game, I will be in a less you know, in less of a mood. Oh yeah, I am about to, like, start my period, so, like, you know, the hypothetical person who, like, you know, sees this, decides to, like, bring me into this, you know, unwarranted, you know, hypothetical imaginary person. We like to make up people. We like to, like, make up people, on this stream, you know. It's an interesting, you know, rhetorical strategy. Some people make up hypothetical people, or no, hypothetical situations, and I like to make up, like, hypothetical guys. Not even, like, you know, men guys, but, like, hypothetical, you know, like, guys. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I totally forgot what I was about to say. Oh yeah, the whole like the period joke. Yeah, just like be like, oh yeah, this person is like obviously about to be on their period. What a bitch. Yeah, that would be a really good one. I don't know if I'm about to get my period. I'm not sure. I have like this fucking thing in my arm. I don't think it would show very well because I'm like pink as fuck. Like it's like right here. And it's supposed to last for like 3 years and it's been like 5. But the same thing at the same time I'm still like not getting my periods regularly. And there's no other like health explanation that could like be the reason for that. So yeah, I only get my periods like every 3 months or so. And it's only been like 2 months. So I'm due for a period in October, but not in November, which is my birth month. Unfortunately, October is my favorite month of the year, so I'm gonna feel like shit in October. And I'll be fine. Oh yeah, I cut out some trees. I did not paint them yet. For the Halloween project. But yeah, again, they're not painted yet, so they just look like little white triangles, but like fucked up little white triangles. But I'll paint them tomorrow, probably. I need to have the background scene created by October 1st, I believe. But oh god, is that where I've been dumping all of the dead guys? I think it is. Can you like put a light there? Looks like there's water dripping outside. I don't know why it would sound like that. Is there, for fuck's sake, there's space to get back there? Not really. I'll just launch it over. I like throwing things when I'm mad. Like, you know, can we not? Like, let's, you know, criticize the fuck out of each other. Let's, like, rip each other apart like rabid dogs. But at the same time, like, in the process of doing that, can we, like, not make abuse survivors, you know, feel like shit for leaving their shitty partners? Oh, I'm asking. Like, I don't even, like, really care about the other shit. Just don't make people who have escaped abusive situations feel like shit for escaping abusive situations. You know? That is the premise of this video. Not this video, but like this I don't know, weird argument that I'm somehow fucking up at constructing. You know, that's the premise. Do not make people who left abusive partners feel like shit for leaving those abusive partners. You know, I think it's very simple. It's very basic. It's very practical. And it's, you know, it's in general, it's like good life advice. Like if you do that, you're gonna, you know, make that person hate you. You know, and they should, because you're a shitty person if you're telling people that they shouldn't leave their partners, who abuse them. Like, you know, I mean, and it like, and like, let's be real, like, it doesn't, you don't need to have, you don't even need to have like that, you know, to like even have like you can leave a person just because, you know, you want to leave them. Like, it's not a bad, you're not a bad person because you like broke up with somebody. And like, sure, like the whole, whoa, that'll leave them homeless. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's, you know, it's, once again, it's like not, this is not your problem. Like, it sucks. I get that. But like, you know, you're not the one who is like choosing to make them homeless. You are the one who is choosing to get yourself out of a relationship you don't want to be in. We can't coerce people into staying in relationships against their will without their consent just because the situation feels icky. That's kind of fucked up, dude. Kind of fucked up. I mean, especially since this, you know, person like talked such a big deal about like consent and valuing consent. I mean, maybe I'm misremembering that. Maybe that was somebody else. Maybe they didn't care about consent. Maybe they didn't give a fuck about consent, you know? I'd like to think, as leftists, you know, they value consent. As in the consent of parties to be involved in a relationship. And the lack of consent when they decide to dissolve that relationship. And sure, maybe you would like to stay on amicable terms with that person and, you know, remain in the same living situation. However, you know, that requires consent. If you do not consent, then, you know, what are you gonna do? What the fuck are you gonna do? I mean, like, I feel to a certain extent that these are the kind, like, the same kind of people who believe that, like, some random leftist streamer should, like, allow people to live in their house if they have a nice house. So I don't think, like, there's a certain allowance of, like, bad faith that can be, you know, in any argument before it doesn't seem like it's worth it anymore, maybe. And I think that, you know, saying that abused people should stay with your partner who abuses you, like, I think that involves a you know, certain, like, prerequisite amount of bad faith. You know? If you don't make that argument thinking that it is a, you know, I'm gonna say this word again, and I don't know if I'm using it right, but, like, I'm not gonna look it up because I don't care. Because generally, I am using the word right. But yeah, it's not a salient point. If you have to, like, well, it's just not. It's not. I don't know. course, you know, it all ties back to my own, you know, rotten, fucked up experiences. And, you know, the trauma that came from that shit. You know, so, yeah. I don't know. And to be clear, you know, I do not expect anything from this person. I do not expect an apology. I do not expect an apology from them. I don't care if they, like, you know, say they're sorry or some shit. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm not here to foster accountability. Because I don't think that this is a productive way to foster accountability. Like, I think that accountability in online spaces can occur, but I don't think that it's going to happen like this. Not the way that they tried to do it, and not the way that I'm doing it. This is not about accountability. This is about me being pissed off and, you know, once again, triggered and fucking traumatized. You know, this is about me. This ain't about them. This is about me right now. And the, you know, the reaction that I had to shit they said. And, like, ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't give a shit what they do. With their life, with their, you know, career. I don't know, can you call YouTube a career? I don't know. I mean, you can call it a source of income. I don't know that I'd call it a career. I think career has, like, a very specific implication. For, like, kind of profession. I think you'd call it profession. That's the minutia of the conversation. Not the, you know, important part, important shit. It sounds like there are things in there. It's like, I know that there's nothing in there, but it sounded like there was some kind of, like, organ, like, rumbling around inside of there when I shook it. And I'm like, there's nothing in there. But they're, like, very much sounded like there was something in there. And so I'm just, like, concerned. I know, I think I feel better now. I have made my peace with this issue. For the most part. I might still think of something to yell about later. But for the most part, I have made my peace with this issue. And I do not care to make it any longer. Now you see, again, let's go back to the Tumblr, Twitter, you know, it's social media versus blogging, right? And I think social media is about engagement, right? Where, like, blogging is, and vlogging to an extent, is about, you know, talking about your shit. Like a diary, right? And, like, sure, it's on a social media platform. Tumblr is a social media platform. Twitch is a social media. But there's, like, the vibe of the diary. Oh, fuck, what's the word? There's a word. And I think it relates to, like, parasociality and all of that, but it's like the, intimacy. That's it. The intimacy. There is the intimacy that exists on a site like Tumblr, right? And then there's the intimacy that cannot really be fostered, cannot really be allowed to exist on a site like Twitter. Like, Tumblr this is, you know, small little example, but like Tumblr. You don't really see other people's posts. Like not featured posts. I don't think they have featured posts. But like, promoted posts. I think that's the new thing on Tumblr. Like that is that massively unpopular thing that was brought to Tumblr, right? Tumblr is about blogging, and I don't know how many people today like had experience in, like the blogging of like, oh fuck, I started blogging in like 2011 maybe. Like a little, you know, crusty baby anarchist writing about like Timmy and how he fell into a volcano and how he like would have much rather have died like of cancer if he had to die, so that he could have time to say bye to his family, and how like, you know, our like it's basically like internet baby leftists, what the fuck's it called, intersectionalism for like internet baby leftists who have never experienced theory before. I had this like recurring character named Timmy, and Timmy is like, he's dying of cancer, and he also needs like bone marrow transplants, and he needs like everyday blood. It's because like Timmy was like, you know, he's the rhetorical Timmy, okay? He's the rhetorical Timmy, and he was like dying of all these different things, and I just like repurposed him as like a recurring character so he could appear in all of these arguments I was making. It was a fun time. It was a fun time, and I miss rhetorical Timmy. I haven't brought up Timmy in a while. I mean, I haven't really gotten into an argument with somebody who's like, I mean, I haven't really gotten into an argument with anybody. But like, I used to, you know, when the abortion debate gets like really heated, I used to like demand people's like contact information so I could show up at their house and like steal their organs, which is another thing which I don't think they would allow on Twitter. I think that they would get rid of that. You can say that on Tumblr, nobody's gonna give a shit, but like you threaten to like show up at someone's house and like take their organs on Twitter, and they're gonna be like, they probably actually mean that, we should ban them. I would not ever do that. It's just, you know, it's like, you know, you are pregnant, right? You consent to being pregnant, and if you don't consent to being pregnant, then, you know, the fetus is basically showing up at your house and stealing your organs. So if you don't believe that people should have a choice, you know, in who gets to use their organs, then you shouldn't, you know, have a choice in who gets to use your organs either. So, you know, tell me where you live so I can come to your house and steal them. And it's kind of like a crazy thing, and it always throws people for a loop, and they always think I'm absolutely nuts, but like, I mean, just think about it for a minute, like, dude, come on. You know. But yeah, rhetorical Timmy he was a fun fella, and I kind of miss him. He was one of the best. He was the best internet leftist of all of us. Yeah, where was I going with that whole like discussion anyway? You know, I got so distracted thinking about rhetorical Timmy, like really far where I was going. But anyway. Where was I going? Oh yeah, so like the Tumblr versus Twitter, right? The blogging platform versus the social media platform. And I definitely see YouTube as more of a social media platform. Because the focus is on, you know, the algorithms and the clicks and building the community on the platform. And I know that there are criticisms of, you know, what do they call it, like explorability on Twitch, and how like, you know, you can't find people on Twitch, so you have to build a community elsewhere and then bring them to Twitch, right? And like, I get that if we're critiquing Twitch as a social media site. That is a valid critique. Every fucking where else has algorithms that takes you to the shit you want. But if you see Twitch as a blogging site, I mean, you ever been on like WordPress? You don't get like recommended other people's shit on WordPress. You just go and stick your feet in the fucking water. Some of these blogs, you're never gonna find them unless you know like who created them. Which is why I think Twitch is far more fertile ground for like actual community building, and why on Twitch we build much more tight-knit communities than on other platforms. I think that the lack of discoverability, the fact that you like actually have to do some work to find content creators that you like vibe with and enjoy and like, I think that means that rather than like bringing more algorithms and shit, which what we actually need to do is we need to foster stronger community ties between content creators. And I would say that like overwhelmingly, I don't know, either overwhelmingly or in general, this is the type of take which I would like to foster with my project. Like, this is like kind of the thesis of my project, is that like leftists, if we really care about this shit, we actually need to like, you know, do shit together. Stop fighting over audience members. Like, you are a dog and the audience members are a bone. You need to fucking collaborate with your colleagues because that's what they are, like it or not. And sure, sometimes you don't really like the people you have to work with, but at the same time, this is the job you chose. Now fucking do it. But I'm serious about that take. I'm serious about this take. This is the job you chose. It's time to do it. Do your fucking job. And that is collaborate with and promote other leftists. And they don't have to be people that you 100% agree with. You're gonna go to work, right? And you're not gonna work with somebody you totally 100% agree with. Maybe sometimes you have disagreements. But an everyday average fucking workers dispute. I made this fucking tweet the other day. It's like when fucking content creators who are, you know, ostensibly co-workers, right? Your co-workers get into some, you know, it's like bring your kid to work day, right? When content creators get into some kind of spat with one another, it's like bring your kid to work day, except you each have like 3,000 kids and all of them are fucking rabid. And they all decide to like fucking eat each other when you have like one minor disagreement. Now there are times, and as of late there have been plenty of times where just inexcusable behavior has occurred and like people need to sort that shit out, right? But in general, I don't think that like, in general, I think that it's important to foster a more collaborative community, because ultimately, if you foster a more collaborative community, then you end up, and this is, you know, this is where it affects the bottom line, you end up having more followers together, more influence together. I don't think influence is necessarily a good word here, because like, I don't know. But anyway, you know, then you would apart, right? You get the word out better. Like, if your whole shit is like proselytizing, you know, the future leftist utopia, then you get the word out. You build the movement faster, working together with one another than you do working alone. And sure, you could be like, I'm antisocial, I don't know how to do the relationships, I'm gonna hide in my basement. I'm like, you know, that's valid. I respect you and I support you, and you can go be agoraphobic in your basement. I do that sometimes too. I don't have a basement. I have my, you know, second floor of my, well, not the second floor of my apartment. I am the second floor of the apartment building. You know, it's semantics. It's semantics. We get bogged down a lot. Anyway, the point is, what I'm trying to say is, you know, like, are you trying to be your own little personal leftist Jesus? Or do you actually believe in, like, the collaborative efforts of the proletariat, which lead to the glorious revolution? Because I am here. Let me tell you, I am here for that glorious goddamn revolution. Right? I'm here for the collaboration. I don't like people. I don't like hanging. I mean, I do like people. You know, I'm a generally, like, I think that people are good people. I want them to be good people. And if they're not good people, I believe that they can be good people. We just gotta trust them a little bit, right? That's what I believe. But like, you know, I don't like being around people. That doesn't mean I want to be around them. Like, I think people are generally good and should generally be trusted, and, you know, you put them in the right conditions and they can do amazing things with their lives. So that doesn't mean I want to be fucking around people. I'm fucking agoraphobic, but, like, still, you know, once again, glorious revolution, you know. We got our mind on our goals, right? This is what we want to do. We've decided, we've all agreed. This is where it's going, right? You know, I mean, vote in the meantime, because that's important too, but, like, you know, short-term goals, long-term goals. I think that's another problem leftists have, is that, you know, we're all, like, dumbasses with ADHD, so none of us realize that, like, long-term goals and short-term goals are a thing. But, like, you know, yeah, it's the thing. We can do both, you know. Anyway, you know, you gotta fucking collaborate with other people. And sometimes that means, you know, like, I don't know, volunteering and shit. Okay, that's cool. Great. But sometimes it also means, like, I'm a leftist content creator and I'm going to collaborate with this other leftist content creator because, like, you know, that's just how that works. Like, if you want to build a community, if you want to you want to have growth of your community, healthy growth of your community, you know, the spread of your ideas, you have to build, you know, a fucking discursive community. And you have to invite more people in. And you have to, you know, try not to become too fucking specialized, because then, you know, people will feel alienated. You know? I don't know. I do know. I do know. Because I am actually, you know, I'm God and I know everything, so you should just listen to me and follow me blindly, because, you know, that was a joke. That was a joke. Don't listen to me, actually. Don't follow me blindly. I probably have no idea what I'm talking about. Sometimes we have, you know, we have occasionally we have moments where we know what we're talking about, and occasionally, you know, we don't. Just like anybody, you know. There's like, it's like, what is it, like 60%? I'm 60% full of shit, but, like, the other 40% is, like, probably genius. Except I'm really stupid. You know? Genius in an unintentional kind of way. It's just so petty. You know? Social media is a petty place. It is a petty place where people act out their petty compulsions to, you know, fuck shit up for other people. And it kind of sucks. Oh, there's the bucket. I'd wondered where that had gone off to. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna clean up those tunnels. I wonder if I get fired for, like, quitting right now. I cleaned up the other rooms. Let's see. This room is, like, it's not great, but it's okay. It's looking okay. I think it's just the tunnel now. There's a tunnel there. Yeah, I think it's just the tunnel. I mean, that main room back there a little bit. But yeah, it's the tunnel in there. Oh, that shit! You can't even fucking go around it, man. Oh, fuck. Whole, like, areas. Oh, God. I didn't even know this was, like, here. Oh, is this where we found the dynamite? I think this is where we found the dynamite. Oh, look at this. It leads out into here. We already cleaned this. We're tracking footprints everywhere. So, no, we're not gonna walk out there. Got a leg. It's got some kind of hair tool. What? I think there was more dynamite back there. Like, I can't see. The problem is I can't see. I'm like using this as a light to get me back. There we go. Oh look, this is the place where I found the tentacles. I don't know how the fuck, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do with these tentacles. Like, do I actually have to get them out of here? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. I feel like it's too big. Doesn't seem to be packing blood though, which is the kind of thing. I choose to see that as dropped it. Dropped it again. It doesn't want to go. Like, no thank you. Excuse me, but no. I'd rather not. How the fuck do you do this? Grab it by the end. Nope. Where do I go? See. I wonder if there's something we can, like, beat it with. Oh my god. This is so gross. Let's see. Can't see for shit. Okay. Oh shit, it did! Oh shit! Okay. Now I know what I'm gonna do. All this shit up, aren't I? Okay. Give me. Oh, can't see for shit. Here we go. Okay, this is really baked one. Really baked looking. Look at him. Look at this fucking baked. Oh, look at it! It doesn't sploosh anymore. Nice. Give me that thing. Where's that fucking thing at? Where you at? Nice. It appears that they get rid of the... It gets rid of... the... And it doesn't seem to get rid of those, but it does seem to get rid of the juicy bits. Yes, and that would have been so useful in dealing with that other one. Here, let's see what we got left over. Inferno from hell. What the fuck? Did it melt it? I think it melted it. Oh, that's fun. Look at that. It looks like a volcano. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna save the game. Shit. Yeah, that one. I'm gonna take a break. And when I come back, we're gonna change to our new game. I'll be right back.